I just couldn't sleep, so I figured that it could be fun and, you know, honestly helpful for me just to hop on, be a super cool noodle. I'll play my favorite stream again. Probably just let me hop over. We're grooving. So, not really expecting anyone to hop on, but I do think it's always nice to just be available, right? Hey, looks like some people hopped in. Welcome. We're just vibing, working on some stuff. Yeah, so I'll get this. There's a little bit more visibility whenever I crochet. And I'll grab the creature. We got a whole gal. A little bun, dare I say. So, here's the little creature. The little friend. Hi. Hi, creature. Hello, creature. We got the little bean. Ready to be productive. We're tucking us in. You can tell that she's a feral beast. Absolutely astounded that I'm just still existing right now. She's all grouchy because I went on a trip yesterday. Not yesterday, the day before. My partner does, he lives 2 hours away and he was going home to vote. I'm in the US. Yeah, went with him. Kept him some company on the drive, all that good stuff. But the bean in question, stayed with my parents. So, you know, she's a little bit grouchy. I left her, to say the least, because she's just a baby. Yeah, so she's pretty sweet, pretty happy, pretty great gal. And she just likes to hang out with me while I do this kind of stuff. Oh, hi. She is coming up on a little past 18. So, you know, she just never did her civic duty. She's never voted. She's not even registered, you know, like, we're talking accountability this time of year, and it's just, she just don't got it. Hi. We're just hanging out, working on some stuff together. Got a feral beast. Oh yeah, no, I mean, she's a little over 18. I've had her since I was like a toddler. So I'm like late college now. She's yeah, she's over 18. So yeah, she's over 18 years old. Yeah. She looks a lot younger, I think. She's a little bit scrungly because of the lighting and everything else, but honestly, like her getting a clean bill of health from the vet is a really great thing. She's got some early kidney disease, but you know, I just work some extra hours, make sure she gets her prescription food, and she does great. Make sure she got some extra water bowls, all that good stuff, right? But you know, with all that, you know, happily we'll pick up an extra shift or so for her. We make it work. A little bit of arthritis, but that just happens as people and pets get older, yeah? So, yeah, we make it work. She's a great gal, so we're just vibing. Yeah, thank you. It's not always easy, but you know, she's always been in the picture for me, so the least I can do is do what I can for her, I think. Um, she's like genuinely like always been there for me. Um, you know, like understand how important that is. Like I don't think our pets, you know, like the people who are great. Um, like I think the people and pets most important to us don't really know how important they are. I'm an American. I'm in like the Midwest, so the Missouri area, like pretty much smack dab center of the U.S. But yeah, it's it's been an interesting few days here in the States, I'd say. Not sure if there's any drama with Canada, but definitely quite a bit here in the States. Um, but you know, we make it work. Nice. She always likes to nibble on the crochet. Just working on some projects. It's a nice break between like schoolworks and paperwork and whatnot, you know. Um, but yeah, are you in Europe? Just thinking like time zone wise. Oh, okay. So I'm not gonna get up and show you because I don't want to disturb the bean. But I'll show you like vaguely how this is like my favorite part. Like even aside from everything else, is I can do it in all sorts of shapes. But you can see all the skulls in here, and then you can just kind of drape it over your back. Like yeah, she's getting all confused. Um, but yeah, you can just kind of drape it like that. And oh, so it's called a shawl technically, but you can wrap it around your neck or like hang it over your back and have it like come over your shoulders. It's just a big triangle. Um, but I like it because you can see, like, kind of just about Halloween is when I started this, but it's got skulls in the pattern. So, um, yeah. But I just think it's a fun little fidget to do between working on the stuff that's more of a pain in the butt, honestly. Um, okay, okay, little lady, come on. Oh, her automatic feeder just went off. Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, I've been doing this for quite a while. Um, so it's pretty much muscle memory at this point. But it definitely did take a while to kind of get to that point, I guess. Um, so it is nice to just be able to make stuff like that. Yeah, kind of like that. Like they have the ponchos, so that's like on two sides, right? This is just like, think of it as like just the front or back half, right? Or what you can do is you can make two of these and sew them together, and then it's like that. Yeah, if that makes sense. I used to work in a Mexican restaurant anyway. Hi, how are you doing? Where you tuning in from? Just repositioning a little bit, getting comfy with my laptop, big clunker. Yeah, hi, how are you? Oh, nice. Glad to hear it. Where are you watching from? Um, Haggy, I think, is how I'm gonna say that. Um, but yeah, it's um, it's nice to be able to make stuff, and I gotta say, probably my favorite part is like it's like a nice brain break, I guess, once you get familiar with stuff, and it's also a chance to like learn new things when you're up for it. It helps because like keep the hobby fresh and interesting. Um, and you know, it's also just nice to be able to give people truly like handmade gifts. It's not something that people get a lot of the time now, and it's nice to be able to just kind of do that for people, right? Um, like for teachers, for all sorts of people, I've been able to do that. Um, but yeah, no, it's pretty great. It's pretty great stuff. Um, yeah. Are y'all working on anything, or just hanging out? And either's all good. It's just I like having a mix of both personally. Otherwise, it gets a little bit um, dreary almost. Hard to keep yourself going with getting stuff done if you are only working on getting stuff done. If you don't got anything else going on, it gets pretty boring pretty quick. Honestly, whoever's listening, like it can like you're welcome to just like talk about what's going on with you. Like I like talking to people. I like interacting with people. Um, am I a little quiet? But also, if you're just not paying attention, that's totally fine. Okay. Um, Nice. I do a lot of Zoom calls for work, so I feel like I've gotten pretty good at the audio at this point, but once in a while there's just always that one part of it that's like finicky, I guess. Um but yeah, I just think it's nice to kind of have a place to hang out. Ah, nice, nice. My my grandma did that for a while, and my uncle. I live with my grandma on my mom's side. Um, her son, so my uncle, he does welding, but he subs it for stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, residential. Um, he does like a mix of everything, but my grandma specialized in like residential. She kind of did like a mix of water, like the plumbing and the electricity. Um, she's older, so this was like before things got more specialized, and she was pretty rural, so it was pretty much whoever could get it done, yeah. But yeah, no, that's really cool. I'm a pretty hands-on person. I just have joint problems, so unfortunately, like trade school and whatnot was never really in the cards for me. But it's good stuff. Hey, looks like some more people popped in. Welcome. We're just hanging out, working on some stuff as we can. Geez, let me down the brightness just a little bit so I'm not just getting too early for that. It's around 5 or so, so not crazy early, but still decently early, at least for me. Um, I can be a bit of a night owl myself, so I tend to be up later, wake up later-ish. I still am like doing stuff by 8. I don't really sleep as much as I should, I guess, but um, do what you gotta do to make time for yourself, you know? Yeah, I understand that for sure. Um, it helps a lot if you brush them every day. There's this kind of cat brush called an undercoat rake, and it just kind of like gets rid of all of the fur that is like coming out of the skin, if that makes like not like just fur that's it's hard to explain. It's like cats have like two layers of fur. There's like the part that's like sticking like all the way up that you see in like pet, and then there's a whole layer below that just for some protection and warmth that's like more dense but not as long, and so that's called the undercoat. And an undercoat rake, and basically it's just kind of like, well, a rake, like just a little rake brush, and it pulls you just pull it through that, and it just kind of gets rid of all the loose hair from that layer of hair, which is really nice. And if I do that, then um, she just doesn't shed as much. And it gets rid of the top hair too, which is nice. It just is a really good brush for like reaching into that bottom layer too. But it helps a lot. And then there's like these it's like a, I don't know how else to call it, but like a reusable lint roller, like the little sticky things that like can pick up pet hair. There's some of those that are fabric, so it like sticks to the fabric, and then it has like a little thing that scrapes off the fabric, so it has like a little spot where it all gathers into. Um, so I just do that every couple of days on all my stuff, and I don't even need to vacuum any more than normal because that takes care of everything. Um, yeah, and that just little alarm sound goes off at every like 25, 55-minute mark, and then on every hour and half hour mark, it goes. There's another alarm sound, which just is meant to be like a study break timer, basically. It's called Pomodoro. Um, I follow it loosely. Depends on what I'm working on. If I have a big, like constant task I'm working on, I'm always careful and like make sure to take a break. But if I'm just bouncing from thing to thing, it's a little bit less important because it's less on the. It's more helpful for like studying and big projects. But when it's things like emails, grading, yeah. But small stuff like that makes being a pet owner a lot easier, which I think is really important. People don't get enough credit for how hard it is to take care of animals, I think. But I didn't really realize myself till I only had my joint problems like become obvious a couple years ago. So like litter box and stuff is harder now, but like even that, and then just paying for everything, um, definitely a big responsibility that a lot of people aren't ready for. And, sometimes I feel like I'm not ready, but had her since I was a little baby, so you do whatever you gotta do, make sure she's all right. So that's what I do, right? Yeah. Oh. But yep, she just finished the food from her automatic feeder, and now she's just like face down in the blankets, like she's amazing. Good morning, y'all. Oh yeah, and are you also in the U.S. or are you like from Canada? Where are you from? Nice. Yeah, yeah, no, so it's pretty early for you too, isn't it? Like I'm thinking even like East Coast, it's still only 6:30. Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's like that is Middle Eastern area, right? Yeah. I read about a lot of the stuff with that. Definitely a chaotic situation where, the US did US stuff. Yeah. No, that's fine. Um and if you need me to say anything again, tell me. Um I help students who are usually Mexican learning English. Like that's one of my jobs. So, yeah. I mean, that's the important part, right? And it seems like, I mean, if your work's good enough, then the English isn't super important anyway, I think. I think most people feel that way. Yeah, yeah. I have a classmate who is, their dad is one of the Kurds, like nationality wise, who came here as an adult. I think he was 30 when he came here. And met his mom, and they're in their 40s and 50s now. But it's interesting to hear the stories, right? Like, um, just entire lives that are so different. Thank you. I think it's really nice because, something even as simple as speaking English can be really helpful for people. So, I think it's silly to not try and do something with that if you can. So, I think it's just nice to be able to do that for people. Yeah, it's just, it's something that we just know, and like, I think there's benefit. Like, this is probably a big part of how you learned is like the, real world conversation of talking with people. Like, we're just talking. It's very different than textbooks, right? So, having talking practice is, um, very important, I think. Sana. Sana is my name. So, thank you for asking. It's always nice. Um, but yeah, I just enjoy talking with people, so it's a win-win if it can help them. Especially because it's usually people in a whole new country, and that's, well, that's very difficult. Is your name Noah, like with that pronunciation, or is there a Kurd version, or I don't know. I know a lot of people like pick English names like their American name when they come to the States. I'm not sure if it's that kind of situation or if it's just a Kurdish name I haven't um, seen before. It's that whole area is pretty far away, and with my state especially, we see a lot of immigrants from Central and South America, but not really other places. So nice to meet you too. Good morning, y'all. Looks like some more people are hopping in just as you're waking up, probably. Um, Nice to see y'all. We're just working on some stuff, enjoying some music, chatting a bit. So, yeah, we're here. Hey, how are you? Yeah, like, what's up, Jasmine? Yeah, and hi, Arnis. No? Hmm. No? Hmm. Hmm. I'll look it up for sure. Um, One good strategy I found is Google Translate. If you put it in the local language. Oh yeah, I'm working on. It's like called a shawl technically, but it's basically just like a big triangle, and you can wrap it around your neck like a scarf, or you can put it over, like this would be over your back, but I don't feel like I need to get up to show you, but you can just do it like this, and it'll come over your shoulders like that. And you can see that I have this really nice skull pattern in this one because I was working on it for Halloween. So I think that's pretty cool. It's one of my favorite patterns to work through. So we're doing. Thank you. It took a while to learn, but now I can just kind of do it from memory. So I like to work on it and kind of like as a little brain break between stuff, or like while I'm working, um, like one of my desk jobs, or while I'm in class, or things like that. It's nice to have something that is pretty much muscle memory, and I really love how it turns out. So it's nice to be able to have both of those with like one type of thing I work on, you know. Um, Good stuff. But yeah, we're just hanging out. So whatever you got to work on, we're just doing our stuff. So, or just hang out, working on stuff or not. Um, we're just having a good time, chatting a bit. I always tend to just do better, I guess, when I'm like working with other people, and you know, just me at home right now. So this is definitely the closest I can get. I'm from the U.S. I'm Missouri, so like center of the country, yeah. Um, Been a chaotic few days in the States, so I'm just, taking some time. Couldn't sleep, didn't want to, just lay in bed and stare at the ceiling. So, um, taking some time, do some crochet, get a head start on some of the stuff I gotta do today so it's a less stressful day. Um, all that good stuff, yeah? Yeah, I feel the same way a lot of the time. I've lived my whole life here. But yeah, no, it's horrible when it can go from like, oh my gosh, like the weather, like the laws of nature are just guidelines, are just suggestions when it comes to Missouri's weather. Like there are no rules. It just does what it feels like. Thank you. I'm really happy with how it's turning out. It took me a really long time. I mean, um, I learned how from YouTube, YouTube videos, and you can get the supplies very cheap, like Dollar Tree. A lot of Dollar Tree stores will have a section, and for less than $4 usually, you can get a decent stuff to get started. So, you know, up to you if you want to do that or not, but maybe for a friend, a wife or kids or whatever else, it's a good hobby, right? Um, my parents loved that I got into crochet as a teenager because they would always joke, like I got into it a little bit before the pandemic, and then everybody started doing it, which was honestly nice. Um, yeah, no, that's true too. But that's exactly it. It's like you can just learn it online and be safe, and it's like you're not going to see anything that your parents don't want you to on a crochet YouTube channel. The worst I'll do is I'll curse like once in a while, right? Um, but if that's the worst that your kid's seeing on the internet, which you can't really stop them from seeing, I'm kind of like, that's not bad. If someone drops an F bomb or something once in a while, it's like not ideal if for a lot of people, but it's certainly better than what you might see elsewhere. But yeah, it's crazy. Like I learned how to change my car's headlights and stuff from YouTube. You just kind of do all of that, and it works out great for me. Like in general, like I'm not gonna try and do something like an oil change from YouTube, but to be honest, if I needed to, I probably could. Um, but like you just think of all sorts of things, and it's like YouTube is such a great resource. Yeah, exactly. It's like for me, it's like my stuff is pretty much only crochet, but that's because well, I have my personal account that is like memes and other stuff, but if you don't use a platform, and like you have to be very specific with what you look at on your account, because you have to be so specific, because if you're active at all, you're going to see that stuff. And if you like, even if you just stop at it to like report it or something, like it's still like interacting with it, and so you just get tracked looking at it and seeing more of it, and it's really really annoying. um, so I completely understand that. It's why I don't use Twitter, for example. um, I use Instagram. TikTok does okay. TikTok does an okay job. um, I'm not a huge fan, but like my TikTok for Cat and Mouse, which is this channel, does really well. Oh my gosh, I understand that for sure. Oh my gosh, me and my sister were loud as babies apparently. They were like, "Oh, it can't get worse than me," and somehow my sister did. Oh, absolutely. Knowledge. We have a saying. I think you've heard it. Knowledge is power, or the pen is mightier than the sword. But just yeah, having skills like that is so valuable. It's, small stuff like yeah, it's small things like that. I do this mainly for fun, but I do get to sell a lot of my stuff, and I write instructions and things, and people are willing to pay for that for some of the stuff I write. Um, and so I get to do something I love and also earn a little bit of money doing it. So, you know, it's an amazing deal for me, really. Thank you. I do have to charge a fair amount for like the stuff where I work with the very like thin yarn like this, but I still probably, like one of these though, I might charge like 125 or something, but it takes me like probably almost 30 hours to do. And like, I'll be honest, if I can do it like while I'm doing this or while I'm streaming or stuff like that, or like while I'm streaming or while I'm, like in class or things like that, but it's still just a lot of time. I could be doing other stuff during, or, other things, and stuff like that. But I do tend to make a lot of like little plushies and whatnot for markets and things. Um, and I always like to make like the little itty bitty trinkets, and um, like kids, adults, whoever needs like a little. Let me see if I can find Cub. Cub's my little man's. Let me find him. He's seen some stuff at this point, but like little guys like this, it's nice to be able to hand it to people if they need it. Um, so, and for washing it, um, I always test them. Like I always recommend hand washing it, but usually they can be machine washed and then like hang to dry. Um, and the reason for that is just that it's cotton, so it will shrink if you just put it on high temperatures. So if you wash on cold delicates and hang to dry, it's normally fine, especially if you like wrap it in a pillowcase while you wash it. Just gives it a little bit extra protection, which I think is really helpful. Um, so yeah, no, I think it's pretty cool stuff. And yeah, I like doing it. I like making things. Being able to just have it as gifts for people I care about too. Or like we had a friend who her kid went to the hospital with a traumatic brain injury very suddenly, and I picked a color of one that I knew that she and her kid both loved the colors of, and I knew that no matter, because it was very uncertain how things would go at the time, right? And it's just horrible situation, and so it's a comfort item, and it was either mama got to keep it to make mama feel better, or, and this is what happened because the kid did so much better than anyone was expecting, luckily, of sick kid privilege, where you get to take it. um no, she made a full recovery, okay? Like it's incredible because like the all-terrain vehicles, ATV, um dangerous things, right? So but basically it's like the sick kid privilege. She was like, oh mom, I like that, can I have it? And so she got it because she's just a young teenager, she's sick, and her mom has a new shiny thing that is soft and looks pretty, and it had glitter in it, like little glitter thread, so it didn't even get anywhere, but it was still shiny, so it's like glitter but better. And when they posted on Facebook that she finally got to go home, You could see the little scarf thing I made in the corner sticking out next to her on the couch. Yeah, I think so. And like even with the helmet, her sibling got hurt really bad. Um, I just think it's pretty silly to be on those in general, you know, but um, you know, I'm just saying all it takes is like one bump that's bigger than you expect and you can just be seriously hurt or worse. Um, but yeah, no, I figure a lot of people here are in Europe because of the time difference. Yeah, it's just like you look up and yeah, no, you're going fast and sometimes you just can't react in time just because it is so fast, yeah. Um so a lot of it's just kind of managing that and rolling with it as it goes and yeah. So how are y'all doing this morning? Like I hope things have been pretty smooth. I know that um yeah. So that is so fair. Yeah. We were very lucky, truly, that she was okay. Um it's very it's rare to have things go that well and it makes me very sad that it's rare, but it makes me very grateful that our friend was okay. Um she was 13, the kid was. Um and it was just it was very scary, but it was okay. We were all okay and it was my dad works where he goes to a hospital a certain amount of the time, like not because he's hurt, but just like for work, right? And I have a class over in there. And so we were able to go and visit and keep her company, like, and eat with her in the cafeteria so she wouldn't be alone while she was staying. Um, a little bit. Um, I live in a basement, so not the main floor of the house, so it's a lot colder. Um, and it's also like nighttime. Um, so um, you know, it's really early, still really dark out. Um, but yeah, there's that, and then I just tend to be cold very easily. So the weather's probably okay. I'm just underground and then I get cold super easily. Is it warm where you are? Or is it cold where you are? Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, that is cold, yeah. But, geez, yeah. I get very cold very easily. And then I'm just thinking, like, whenever it starts to get low 40s as well. Um, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Some of my best friends live in, Seattle, and, no, what is it? There's a military base by Bainbridge Island. Um, but I have friends who live there. Bremerton is the Navy base. So, oh, is that where you're at? Okay, nice. Yeah, I flew into SeaTac, which is the Seattle Tacoma Airport. Yep, Bremerton. So, yeah, I visited them last spring break, and I'm hoping to go back this year too. It's nice to just be able to see them, and it's a nice break, really. Which, believe it or not, is kind of the point of spring break from school. Um, and usually my jobs are like helping students and things like that. So when break happens, I don't really have work. Um, Fort Leonard Wood. Yeah, that's in Missouri. Oh, I was saying a military base like by Seattle, but Fort Leonard Wood, my cousin was stationed there. Um, Ironically, this is my cousin who grew up in Wisconsin who is stationed in Fort Leonard Wood, and my other relatives are living right near there. Yeah. Well, I think well, she's from a state right next to me originally. So I think she meant 40 in Fahrenheit. So like a little above freezing in Germany right now. Which makes sense because it's going into winter there, right? Because northern hemisphere still. Yeah, I went to Washington State, um, Seattle, the city, and then Bremerton. My friends work in some of the casinos nearby too. Yeah, I think Libya, countries that use imperial system. Yep, United States, Liberia, and Myanmar. were the 3 countries. I knew there were 3 of them, and I knew one of them was with an L. But that is it. It's just us 3. Move alarm. Oh, yeah. So the imperial system is using like feet and inches instead of centimeters and meters, and Fahrenheit instead of Celsius, and pounds instead of kilograms. And so it is the United States and 2 other countries that use that instead of Celsius, kilograms, meters. Thank you. Yeah, I try and stream a certain amount, and me and some friends are wanting to do a podcast, so we'll definitely, definitely stay tuned for that. And TikTok and stuff too. We try and do a certain amount on there as well. I will probably hop off here in a few minutes, but seriously, if you subscribe, and I'll hop on in the future too, and you are more than welcome to like ask any questions about English or just use it as practice too. I just like to hang out, chat with people, so um, good opportunity to do that. Hang out, you know, ask any questions about English or whatever else that maybe it's like hard to find people to ask, right? English lessons are really expensive, and sometimes it's just 1 or 2 small questions. Um, but we're just hanging out. Yeah, just want to help. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It was nice to meet you. Okay, like I hope I see you again. It was nice to talk. But ciao.